Kahala Yahweh Bashem Awashai, Bashem Rakal Kodash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, by the house of David, reborn again in this generation. And Shalom to the 130 Asherullah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians, who before losing their true heritage were known as Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about a spiritual marker that is upon the Edomites, who everybody knows today as the so-called Caucasians. But let's read this first. This is Psalms 73 and 8. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. They set their mouths against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. This is talking about the wicked. And we all know that the wicked in the Bible is referred to as being the nation of Edom. Now, the nation of Edom today would be known as the so-called Caucasian race. And the Bible talks about how these devils would basically have these characteristics, right? That they would speak wickedly concerning oppression, right? The things that they do, they would make light of them, right? And here's a video that shows one of these examples. This girl here is an exchange student from Japan, and this Edomite goes to a school whose name is the Bombers, and their mascot is the nuclear mushroom cloud, right? To honor that era in Edom's accomplishments, right? When he was able to bring fire down from heaven, as it explains in Revelations. Well, they're going to show you, well, actually, I'm going to let you watch the video.
I'm in Kostrowski, and I'm here with Minoka, foreign exchange student from Japan. Richmond High School's mascot is a mushroom cloud. I went around asking students what their thoughts on this mushroom cloud was, and if they supported it or not. Are you proud of the cloud?
I'm very proud of the cloud.
Why?
We're a great school and just go Bombers.
Are you guys proud of the cloud? We're so proud of the cloud! So, are you guys proud of the cloud?
Yes.
Can you explain why?
Because it's different than every other mascot. You like never see it anywhere else.
I'm proud of the cloud because we're just so unique and
We're just the best. Period.
there's a lot of history behind the cloud.
It's part of our town, Richland. That's what you think of the cloud.
I have enjoyed my time here in America while attending Richmond High School. I have made many friends and memories that will last a lifetime. I have grown from my experience and learned many things. While I have learned many things about your history, culture, and perspective, I would like to share some of mine. I'm from Fukuoka, which is by Nagasaki. Nagasaki is the location where the second atomic bomb was dropped. It is ironic that I ended up a bomber. My city was originally targeted to be destroyed by the bomb. My grandparents would have been incinerated. I wouldn't be here today. However, it was cloudy that day, and the target was changed to Nagasaki. While in Richmond High School, the cloud is celebrated. It is the mascot of the school, and you see it everywhere. I see it as a way to remember people who lost their lives to ensure the peace we have today. Those who were bombed were civilians, not soldiers. Should we have pride in killing innocent people? In my country, every year we have a peace day when young students learn about and reflect on the devastation and terror that was caused by the bombs. In Nagasaki, 80,000 civilians, many children, and women were unjustly killed. I'm not trying to change your mascot, but just help you consider a perspective that's more personal. At Richmond High School, the mushroom cloud is something to take pride in. Please think about this. After an explosion, the cloud is basically made of the things the bomb destroyed. I cannot be proud of remains of a city and the innocent children, women, and men who had no part in the war. I'm here today because it was a cloudy day.
Have a good day, Bombers. Now please stand for the pledge.
So as you can see there, it was pretty evident how, the whole idea behind the mascot was pride. Now, I'm sure a lot of these kids didn't really even have, much understanding of the concept, right? Because to them, it's just a mascot, or it's just that America won the war. But notice at the end, what appeared to be like a Issacharite and a Gadite, or they could have both been Gadites. They really didn't have anything good to say about the logo, right? They just understood that what its implications were. Hence, that one student or Israelite saying a lot of history behind it. The other one just making a comment about how it's a big deal in that town. But notice the Edomites, they paid no attention to it, right? Like in that aspect, they didn't even consider what was behind the nuclear missile or killing off all those Ammonites, right? Because in the Bible, the Japanese are referred to as the Ammonites, who are the descendants of one of the daughters of the daughters of Lot, who came from Sodom and Gomorrah. But let's read this. This is Psalms 64:7. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow, and suddenly they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And that's what's happening, right? Because the Lord, He's trying to bring out what was once Edom's glory, right? Conquering, the achievements in science and warfare that they achieved. They're trying to turn that against these Edomites, right? He's using their strength as their weakness, and that's a beautiful thing, because all these other nations, they're starting to understand what these Americans are, right? These so-called Caucasians, who biblically are known as the Edomites. Now, understand that this is all prophesied to happen, right? Because how is it that the Edomites, they go around the world doing this stuff and they don't pay for it? Well, it's because they had the Lord on their side, right? They were loose for 1,000 years, which is from the time of the Renaissance until now, to go out and accomplish their goals of mischief, right? To destroy the world, and particularly to put the children of Israel, which are in this case here would be the so-called Latinos, right? How when they came over here in the 1500s, starting from then, you had the mass hanging, the killing off. You had the enslavement of our people, and eventually it still continues till this day, right? But it's done a bit more differently, right? People are put into concentration camps, families are separated, But it still happens, and it happens also to the so-called Native American Indian, who would be known as the children of Gad and the children of Reuben. Right? These are the biblical Israelites. Now, they also were destroyed as a people, first through war, and then later through destroying. As you can see here in this image, they had schools where they would send the children to get Americanized, right? There's a saying that you could kill the Indian and save the man. You had ultimately just a destruction come upon the Gadites, and again, then one of the most famous oppressions of the Edomites to the other nations of the world was to the main nation, or the main tribe of Judah, Levi and Benjamin, who had to go through what is known today as the North Atlantic slave trade and bear what follows it, man. These are just some of the actions of the Edomite, and that's all biblical, right? Because this is a history that tries to get buried by those in power, right? Those in power would happen to just be the Edomites, because the thing is the power of the world is now turning against them, and they're now being seen more as the problem instead of the solution. And you can see this with nations rising up. You got the Lord smiting the world right now with a plague, with the coronavirus, and the and also in South and East Africa, you got that locust plague. You got the earthquakes in diverse places, the volcanoes, in the Philippines. You know, the world is experiencing a mass shift right now, right? You got mass animal die-offs. The seasons appear to be different, right? The earth is in a chaotic form. You got massive areas of the Pacific Ocean that are radiated, and things just keep getting worse and worse. You know, we're on the brink of World War III, thanks to the Edomites, right? These so-called Caucasians who are bringing about the end of the so-called world, and they're doing a pretty good job at it. But again, that's how it is prophesied to happen, as it tells you here in 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you of these things? So you see, these Edomites, who would be known as the so-called Caucasians today, they go back to the nation of Edom, or Adawam, as explained in the Bible. Now, the Israelites, who today would be called the Negro Latinos Native Indians, they were the nation that was erased, which is now starting to reawaken, and that's what you're starting to see in these Negro, Latino, Native Indian movements around the world. They're starting to stand up for an uprising, right? And namely, you got us here, the prophets of the Lord, out here preaching what the Bible says and telling the world who we are, and actually also who they are. How we come from the three children of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, right? And that the world is starting to wake up, and that the prophecy of Isaiah 25 and 7 is playing out, and that says, and that reads, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations, right? And that's what's happening, man. You're starting to see people not only understand who they are, you know, biblically, but you're also starting to see people understand who these so-called Caucasians are, right? And you're seeing it not because of the things they're doing necessarily now, but because of their whole history, which is a witness against their character, right? In these cases, that bomber school, man, just shows the callousness that these Edomites had for that whole bit of destruction. So I just wanted to bring that out, Akim. So until the next time, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Kwakwardash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles, and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. Shalom.